Hello, my name is Samantha and today I want to share with you a technique if you would like to learn how to read tarot cards using only your intuition. So for this practice, you literally need only your cards, yourself, and maybe a quiet place and of course a table where you can draw the cards and play with them for a little while. Here I have the deck I usually use when I want to explore the tarot and connect with the cards. I use the Tarot of Marseille, which is the I think the second tarot deck I got, because a friend of mine told me back then that this was one of the original tarot decks. But then when I opened it and I realized that this is the Two of Swords, this is the Nine of Swords, and the Six of Cups, and then I didn't understand anything when I first opened it. There are other decks that if you're a beginner, it might be easier for you to start getting familiar with the energy and the meaning of the cards. But if you also have this one or you feel called to use the same one as I am using here, it's fine. You know, again, I started with this one and it was a great challenge because when I was drawing the cards and then seeing this and just 6 cups there with flowers, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what that means. But then it helps to develop your intuition even more because you don't have prompts. Like, for example, if you had a card like this, you more or less can know a little bit what this is about, you know. Or for example, let me show you something else like this one. This is a major arcana card. We will dive into that in another video, but I'm just showing you the one I'm using and the differences between decks. So for example, as I said, this is the Marseille deck. I have here another one that is also very popular and common is the Rider White Tarot deck. This might be a little bit easier to understand because, for example, this is the Nine of Wands, you know. So it's not only just a drawing like this, but you actually have like some emotion and, you know, like a guy there trying to give you an idea about the story behind this card, you know, the Ten of Wands. So the Five of Wands. So you see this one, the drawings on this deck might be a little bit easier for you to understand a little bit and connect with. But again, it's not necessarily that you get one or the other, whichever deck you have. This technique works because it's intuition based. So you just need to awaken the power and the wisdom that already lives within you. I also have some other tarot decks with me here. So this one is kind of different version of the Rider White, or is inspired a little bit more in that. But again, it's also different. You see, this is the Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. So the energy of each deck is different. Even though in general the energy of the cards or the inspiration for the cards is the same, and all of the other decks like this one, for example, or this everyday tarot deck that I have, most of them are inspired on the Rider White. Okay, so there are like different versions or different versions of the Rider White, but it really doesn't matter which one you use as long as you like it and you feel drawn to that one, then that means that's the one you have to use or you can use. If you don't have a tarot deck but you want to start playing with cards and developing your intuition, you can also use this technique or apply this technique when reading oracle cards. It works just the same way. Okay, it's just a different expression of energy, but it's kind of the technique is the same and you can apply it to oracle cards as well. All right, so going back to this, the reason why I have the cards in this bag is because the box they came in it broke, it fell apart, and so I wanted to keep them somewhere, and so I have this really basic bag with some paint on it. There are some people that say you should keep your tarot cards in, you know, a very nice bag or a cotton bag or, you know, some natural fabric. I find that it really doesn't matter where you keep your cards. If you see this one is inside the box it came in, because I just love the cards and I think there is a lot of thought and art put into into the box as well. So I don't have any problem just keeping it here, you know. But that's my belief. You can, you know, choose your belief and do what you feel more comfortable doing. So if this is the first time you open your deck, or even if you have had it for a little while, and but you have not used it, I recommend the first thing you do when you take your cards out of the box is to shuffle them. This is how I usually do it, but I know that some people can find hard doing this. So you don't have to shuffle them this way. If it's not easy for you to do it, then other thing you can do is just take them this way and then just start shuffling, like moving them back like this, you know, and you do it again. If this is still too hard for you, another thing you can do is just put them in the table and then you break them into two piles, and then one of the piles into a even smaller pile, and you start changing just the piles one from one to the other. You know, you just do this and then you put it back and so on until you feel that it's already mixed or shuffled in a proper way. Okay, you can take as long or short time as you want with this. After that, what I like to do is to take my deck in my hands and put them like this, closer to my chest or my chest, yes, or my solar plexus area, which is like between your ribs at the entrance of your stomach. You can also put your hands down in your lap, like closer to your sacral area, or you know, below your belly button. I do this because I feel that depending on which part of my body I put it, I connect the cards with that energy. So when I do it, I put the cards closer to my heart or my chest, then I know that I am trying to bring unconditional love to my readings. If I put it in my solar plexus area, then I want to have some more power, you know, power driven, objective, goal objective driven, etc., etc. Readings. If I put it down into my sacral, then I want more of a feminine approach to the reading. Okay. Again, that's just my belief and my intention. You can set your own. This is just an invitation for you to do what you feel more drawn to, or what you feel called to do. All right. So then, as I was saying, I take them that way and I put it closer to me in whichever area of my body I feel I should. And then I close my eyes. And the first thing I do is awaken first my energy. Okay. I connect all of the energy centers along my spine, which you might also know them as chakras. But if you don't know what a chakra is, just imagine that there is a pillar of light or a column of light, a wire, you know, whatever your mind shows you, running from the base of your spine all the way up to your head. And there are like bulbs, light bulbs along that connection along that cable. So just imagine as you inhale that every single of those bulbs lights up, okay? And there is a wire connecting one with the other one. And so when you inhale, just imagine and feel how those bulbs of light start lighting up. And you feel more and more connected to your body. You want to get in touch with your inner self, with your inner wisdom. And by doing this, you do that, okay? By breathing consciously, by imagining or connecting the dots, internal dots into your system, then you get to awaken the energy that is you. So once you have done that and you spend a couple of minutes, you know, visualizing and seeing those bulbs connect one with the next, you will start to feel a little bit lightheaded. It's normal that you get a little bit dizzy. It's just normal, okay? So make sure you are sitting down when you do this exercise. So when you are ready and you feel a bit lighter, less worried, more energized, then you start imagining that from the bulb in your chest, light starts spreading up towards your shoulders and your neck and falling down through your arms all the way to your hands until this light, this energy touches your cards, okay? And just as when we meet a new friend, we are going to introduce ourselves to the cards and say, hi, my name is, and you can say your name. This is again just an invitation. You say whatever you want to say, I am so glad I am finally meeting you. I am excited to work with you. And I ask you to please share with me the wisdom my soul wants to share with me, my guides, my ancestors, the universe wants to communicate to me. I appreciate your work. I appreciate your help with this process, and I am happy to connect with you. And then you hold the cards for a little longer in your hands. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and settle your cards down. There are some people also that invite us to do some reverence to the cards, to make sure that we clean them up regularly, that nobody touches them, that, things like that. For me, the cards are just paper. There are drawings in a paper, and that's it. What gives these cards power is what we just did. We transfer some of our energy, some of our connection to the paper, and that's why we are kind of syncing ourselves to the connection and to the energy and the drawings on the cards. But the cards themselves are just paper, okay? So I don't think we need to hold them as sacred or anything of the sorts, because we are the energy that is sacred and we are just sharing that energy to the cards. But again, all I'm sharing here is my belief. That's how I approach the tarot reading process. You can do what you feel more comfortable doing, okay? So once we are done with that, that's kind of energizing the cards, energizing ourselves, activating them with our own energy. You can do this process with every single deck you buy. You can even come up with your own process and whatever you feel more comfortable with. And so when you are ready to have a reading, you again shuffle your cards, and this time when you are shuffling, concentrate in a question. Okay, think about what type of guidance you are looking for. What would you like to know this time when it comes to tarot, when it comes to your life? Maybe what area of your life is struggling? What type of advice are you looking for? And I also recommend that when you ask something to the tarot, you ask questions that start with why, what, how, instead of do I need to, anything that will give you a yes or no question, sorry, a yes or no answer, or a timing, when is this going to work? It's not that it's not possible to get those sorts of answers from the tarot cards. It's just that if you are at beginning your journey and you are starting, the most empowering thing you can do is take back your power by knowing that you can decide if something will work out or not for you. That you can also influence the timeline in which that action or that desire is coming through. That's why I don't recommend you asking yes or no questions or timing questions, because my intention with this practice is that you get back to your power. You connect with the energy, the source intelligence that flows through you, instead of giving someone or something, in this case the cards, the power to decide what will happen in your life. But we can use the tarot to get to know ourselves better and also to receive guidance. That's why it's good to say, why is this happening in my life, if you want to understand the situation? Or how can I improve? How can I make sure I get where I want to go? What can I do to change this or influence that? Things like that. So if you don't have specific questions, that's okay. You can just think about the situation you need advice on or you will want to solve. And you do that while shuffling your cards in whichever method, again, you feel more comfortable shuffling. Alrighty. So when you are sure that you are done shuffling and you are comfortable to start reading and you already spend some time, little time, thinking about the situation and the type of guidance you want, then you can start picking the cards. What I usually do is cut the deck again in two, put it back, and then I just shuffle a little more. And I like to take the cards from below the deck, but this is intuitive. So if you want to take the ones in the middle, the ones here, the ones in the top, it's up to you, all right? If you don't feel comfortable with the way I just did it, Something else that can help you with as well is once you have shuffled your cards, you put them in your table, you cut them like this, you put them back, and you can start choosing the cards from there, or you can also spread them in front of you like so, so you can make it easier on yourself to pick your cards. And again, this is intuitive, so no need to overthink. Whichever way you do it is the right way to do it. So if you chose this way and you have your cards in front of you like so, all you need to do is then, okay, I'm gonna pick this card, you set it aside. I'm gonna pick this other card, I'm gonna set it aside as well. And finally, I also want this one. I recommend only using 3 cards at the beginning so that you don't complicate things for yourself. And then you put the rest on the side just for now. Then you bring the cards you picked to the center of your table. And I also recommend when you turn them around, you do it like a book, you know, the page of a book, either this way or this way. But don't do this. Don't take them from the corner and flip them this way, or take them from here and flip it this way. Don't do that. Why? Because if you see, when I do this card came in reverse, and there is a reason for that. So if I were to do this, then the card will come upright, which is not, sometimes the meaning can change. I'm not gonna get into that, because I also, if you want to, you know, don't get worried if you say, oh, all of my cards came upside down, or all my cards came upwards. It doesn't matter, okay? I'm just saying the correct way to turn the cards is doing this, like the page of a book. So I do that, and then the last one. And don't worry about reversals. Some people never read reversals, and that's also a personal choice. The reason why I do like to read reversals is because when I find cards upside down in my reading, I find that that means I'm not there yet, okay? It doesn't mean that it will never happen. It's maybe I'm working on that, and there is a potential for me to reach the energy of these cards. Maybe it can also show me I'm kind of resisting the energy of the card. I am maybe trying to run away from that energy, or there is something I need to work on so I can finally solidify the energy of the reversed cards. That's why I like to read reversals, but it's up to you, okay? So once you have done this and you have the cards in front of you, close your eyes again and take a deep breath. It's really important for the intuition process that you are the calmest you can possibly be, okay? When we feel fear, or when we are afraid of making mistakes, then we make it more difficult for ourselves to be able to actually read using the intuition. So just remember, there are no wrong answers here. Everything is as it should be, and you will read these cards perfectly. I also invite you to get a notepad and a pen so you can write down your answers. This will allow you to later on come and check your notes and see your progress, not only in reading the cards, but also in your life. You know, where were you when you first started reading tarot, and where will you be maybe even in a week, in a month, in a year, okay? And also you can reference the message later on. You can be like, oh, I remember the cards told me something about the situation, and it, you know, it seems that the information I need now, or the situation I'm living, is similar to that one. So what happened then? What did they say? You know? And so once you have your notepad with you, just look at your cards and start to see, or start to think, what type of emotion do you get from looking at these cards? What do you see? What do you feel? What type of memories come back to you? What type of references? And write down everything in your notepad, even if it's just like fire, thoughts, money, mom, you know, even one word, it doesn't matter. And then ask yourself, what are they trying to tell me with regards to the question I asked? For example, if you have this Ace of Swords, just as I have here, and you ask about your job or about your career, what type of energy do you feel this means? What does it mean, this card, to you? And write it down. And with reference to your job, what do you think this sword with the hand and the crown mean? You will see that the more you trust and the more you are like, you know what, I'm just going to write whatever it comes with ease and not so much worry, the easier it will be for you to receive the messages, okay? And then just look at the cards a little bit longer, see if there is anything else you can pick up with regards to the energy of the cards and the question you asked. Does the image or the person on the card reminds you to a person in your life? What are the cards telling you about your own attitude towards the matter at hand? What are they recommending you to stop doing or start doing? Ponder all of these questions and then try to create a link between what you see in the cards and the question you asked. And you can repeat the same process with every question, okay? If you already have the answer to your first question, you can either put the cards back into the deck and shuffle again and ask another question. If you need any clarification because you are not sure what does this mean, you can say, okay, clarify, let's say the Ace of Swords, and take one more card and see what does the additional card says with regards to the Ace of Swords. And you need to do the same again. Look at the card and be like, okay, what type of emotions or energy do I feel coming off this card? What is the story behind the guy in this card? What was he doing? Where is he going? What is he thinking? If he were to give me an advice, what would that be? And repeat those questions and that process with every single card that you have in front of you. And you will see that magic will happen. Allow yourself to receive the messages that want to come through you. Your intuition is really wise. So all you need to do is allow it to come to the surface. We all have intuition, by the way. We all are intuitive beings. So we all can do this. No need to worry about getting the wrong answer to your questions. I hope you found this clip useful, and if there is any other type of information you would like to have around using your intuition to read tarot cards, please let me know. And if you think there is someone else that will benefit from listening to this video, please share it with them. Thank you. Bye bye.